I'm going to talk about what age you should start taking your Social Security benefit. Age 62, 66, 70? Stay tuned. I'm Keith Armbrecht, founder of Medicare on Video. I hope you'll find the information in this video very helpful and presented in an easy to understand format. Turning Medicare eligible is actually a very good thing. You'll likely find Medicare to be a much better alternative for your health insurance needs than what you may have had previously. But there are some choices. So I've created a Medicare Resource Center where I have a complete video library on everything Medicare. You'll also find the necessary guides and forms and the links that go along with them. So please, after this video, take just a few moments and explore our Resource Center. I'm sure you'll find everything that you need for Medicare. Now you can also get an immediate quote on your Medicare supplement insurance. Just fill in your basic information and it'll bring up the rates and the plans that are available in your area. It would also be a really good idea to subscribe to my YouTube channel. That way you'll always have access to my videos and you'll get updates as they come along. So again, I hope you find the information in this video very helpful, and please let me know if I can help. Okay, so let's talk a little bit now about Social Security. And obviously I do Medicare, and as we all know, Medicare is a little bit complicated, a little bit hard to understand. Social Security is equally as complicated, might even be a little more complicated and a little harder to understand than Medicare, and it obviously runs pretty much right alongside Medicare. So when we are approaching our 60s or 65, we have these decisions to make, and a lot of times we are on our own and it's hard to kind of figure this stuff out. So I'm going to give you a little idea on Social Security on the question when to start. And do you start your Social Security payments at 62? Do you wait till you're 65, 66, 70? And you tend to hear different things from different people. So it's a little difficult to kind of figure it all out. So I'm going to give you a little overview on that topic. And keep in mind, I'm not a financial advisor. I just try to share what my understanding is, and I'll show you exactly how I think Social Security kind of can function. And the first thing to understand is what is called full retirement age. Now, it used to be pretty easy because 65 was always the number. Well, a couple of things have changed, and for a couple of different reasons, that full retirement age starts to creep up. So it's going farther, and the reason being is, number one, we do live longer. So these days we tend to live longer than we used to. And number two is the system only has so much money. So it's been kind of a tough challenge to fund for quite a while, and will absolutely going forward in the future. As most of us know, 10,000 people a day turn 65. So 10,000 people a day are going into Medicare, going into Social Security. That's a tremendous amount of people and a tremendous amount of money. So 300,000 people a month turn 65. That's a crazy number. So let's understand full retirement age. And this is when your Social Security benefits are calculated on. So this is what determines whether you're taking it early, right on time, or you're postponing and taking a little bit later. So you can see based on the chart that for the most part, now if you were born in 1960 or later, your full retirement age is no longer 65, it's now 67. So whether that means you have to work another couple years before you get there is a question that you'll figure out on your own. But you can see based on the chart, you know, for early birth dates, it's age 65. And then on 1943, it changes to 66, and then they start adding a couple of months. So that is your full retirement age. That's when you would get 100% of your Social Security benefits. So keep that in mind when you're trying to figure this out. So, you know, do we want to take it early, or do we want to take it right when we're supposed to, or do we want to delay it? Now, what happens in those scenarios? Well, you get a penalty if you take your Social Security too early. So you can read along here. If you choose to start receiving your Social Security check up to 36 months before your full retirement age, be aware that your benefit is permanently reduced by, and the math here is a little crazy, 0.05% for each month. So, and I'll show you in a minute a chart on when you break even if you take it early. So for example, if your full retirement age is 66 and you elect to start benefits at age 62, the reduced benefit calculation is based on 48 months. This means that the reduction for the first 36 months is 20%, 0.05% times 36, and 5%, 5/12 of the 1% times 12 for the remaining 12 months. That would make a total permanent benefit reduction of 25%. So if your normal full retirement age is at 66 and you want to start your benefits at 62, you're going to receive 25% less of what you would receive if you waited until 66. Now, is that so bad? Because you're going to be receiving a check every month at age 62, at age 63, at age 64, at age 65, and then going forward to 66. If you waited till 66, it's going to be 25% more of that monthly number. So again, I'll show you in just a minute how that's going to all work out. And if you wait and you delay, you'll get a credit. So you can see here, if you retire sometime between your full retirement age and age 70, and you don't have to retire, but just don't take your Social Security until then, you typically get credit. And for example, say you were born in 1944 and your full retirement age is 66. If you intend to take your benefits at age 68, you can get a credit for 8% per year multiplied by 2 for the number of years that you waited. That makes your benefits 16% higher than the amount you would have received at age 66. So you can also refer, there's charts on Social Security. If you go to ssa.gov, you can run a calculator, you can figure out your benefits, because it does vary on the amount of money you've earned. And the way they calculate it is they take it based on your average of your best 35 years of working. So factors that you would need to consider when you're making this choice is, number one, at 62, do you need the money? If you need the money, it might not be much of a choice. So if you don't necessarily need the money, it might make a little more sense for you to wait and then get higher payments going forward. Your life expectancy and your break-even age, and I'll show you that in just a minute. Life expectancy, kind of a tough one to work, but if your family history, your parents lived into their 90s and grandparents lived into their 80s or 90s, you might have a greater life expectancy. So kind of a tough thing to figure out there. But, that's kind of where it works. So here's some break-even numbers. And it's not exact, and I'll show you a chart that kind of matches this up. So this is a top wage earner. So this is a maximum payout on Social Security. And again, you can figure that stuff out on Social Security's website. So monthly Social Security benefits, $21.02. So retirement age, if you took it at 62 versus 66, so if you decided to take your monthly benefit at age 62 instead of your other choice being 66, your break even would be between age 77 and 78. So from 62 to 77 and 78, you're going to get that 25% less number all the way. At age 66, you're going to get 25% more. Obviously, you're starting 4 years later, and those are going to break even at about 77, 78. So what does that mean? After 78, you're going to be making significantly more if you had waited until you're 66. So if you live well into your 80s, then 66 would have been the right choice. Now 62 versus 70, that break even is between 80 and 81. So a little bit longer of a break even period, but once you got past 81, significantly more of a monthly payment if you had waited till age 70. Now age 66 versus 70, so you took it at 66 instead of 70, that break even gets a little bit farther away, between 82 and 83. So that's kind of a decision, there's not a wrong decision here. It's just a question of what makes you more comfortable. So here you can see on the break even kind of on a line graph. So the green line is if you started your benefit at age 62, blue line is if you started at age 66, and red line is if you started at age 70. So you can see the green line goes up. It obviously is starting sooner, but it goes at a less pitched rate than the rest of them. 66, the blue line, and you can see right where it crosses the green line, that's where you'd break even on 62 versus 66. And then the red line starting at 70, you can see it's a much steeper climb. And once you break even, you can see where it crosses the green line or it crosses the blue line, and then it goes much higher. So look at kind of the difference at age 90 on this chart. And certainly we'd all love to make it to age 90. If you do, while you're drawing Social Security, if you chose to take it at 62, your benefit would have been about here. And if you chose to take it at age 70, your total benefit would be about here. Pretty significant difference in income, could be $150,000, $200,000 total benefit difference on when you chose to take it. So again, obviously at 62, if you're in a position where you need the income and you have to have it, and keep in mind, to take it at 62, you pretty much need to not have income, because if you still have income from work or whatever you may be doing, then it's going to take away from your Social Security. So unless you have very small income or no income, your choice of 62 might not even be there. So your choice is really going to be at 65, 66, 67, or 70, depending upon when you were born and when your full retirement age is reached. So I hope you found this helpful, and I do this just to kind of share a little bit of understanding and from my point of view, and I'm happy to kind of talk about it at any time. And obviously with Medicare, that's where I make my living. And, if you're coming into Medicare, I'd certainly appreciate it if you'd allow me to help you with your Medicare supplement coverage, because that is also equally as confusing. So I'd be happy to help with any of it. And I hope you found this information helpful, and have a fantastic day.